This is All Things Nerd production.
Fancy that.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Kobolds in the Basement podcast. My name is Chad Hillson. I am your game manager. We are joined, as always, with Dave Morris.
It's uncanny how we beat Franny, Caster Flamebeard.
Schaloan Dysland.
Oh my gosh, this is so similar. We met Franny and we had a fight, and I found him uncanny.
And Steven Dysland.
Franny turns to sludge, but he knew our names. Oh, fudge.
Wait, who are you guys playing as? You didn't say your names this week.
Oh, Luminora.
Valerian, of course.
There we go. All right, let's get into it. This is Kobolds in the Basement.
Oops.
All right, now before we get started, let's do a quick recap of the last episode. So last episode, our heroes chased after Franny and his caravan. As the fight went on, it was apparent that Franny had some abilities that the others were not made aware of. Eventually, our heroes managed to get a grab on Franny, and as he was dealt a hard hit, he looked at Cass and Luminora, who were the two that were closest to him, smirked and called them by name before turning to sludge and sleeping into the ground. That's where we are now. All right, folks. So you're still surrounded by a bunch of just stopped caravan cars. What shall you do?
I think it'd be a good idea to take a look inside of these wagons.
Yeah, let's get to looting.
All right. So there are 4 wagons there. They're kind of in a line. So just give me, are you going to the front one, the last one, the front middle, or the back middle? And then give me an investigation check on whichever one you're looking into.
I'll go to the front.
All right, Caster's going to the front one. Yeah, an investigation check, please.
I get a D4 on that. So it's at least an 11.
So you get an additional D4.
Oh, yeah, it's part of my Dragonmark house. So, yeah, 12 on mine.
Okay. So with a 12, I mean, you see a handful of just kind of like bedrolls, ratty looking boxes. Nothing is really sticking out to you on this first cart. It looks more like sleeping supplies and stuff like that.
See if we can find a map to figure out where they're going.
I'll go to the back middle one.
Oh, I am sorry. With a DC 12, tucked in one of the bedrolls, you do see a piece of paper cast that looks to be a map as to where they're going. I read over my first part.
Aha. Well, this will be helpful. I think we know where they're hiding out now, or at least one of the places.
And then, Valerian, which one were you going to? Sorry?
I'm going to go to the back middle one.
Okay. Yeah, and give me an investigation.
Don't I just automatically pass because I'm cool? It's a 14 on the dice.
All right. So with the 14, you see a bunch of crates. They don't look like they're stamped down super tight, and you see some of that black sludge that you guys have all come to recognize kind of seeping out of the crates.
Guys, we got some icky goo here.
Burn it.
I do have a torch.
Luminora, which...
I am going to do the front middle.
The front middle? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an
that's the wrong one, sorry. A 4.
With a 4, I mean, people sat in there. You don't really see much. Kind of like what Cass saw outside of finding that map, just like bedrolls, small boxes and things like that, but nothing is really sticking out. So then with that, Tevin will saunter over to the last one, take a look at that.
Well, there's really only 3 carts, because one of them was the one we followed in.
Right, but you could have missed something in there.
Yeah, that's fair. We didn't necessarily
Good look
around
inside.
and check it before we took off with it.
No, we just stashed a guy in the back of there who's now dead.
Franny did sacrifice that guy. Just let him burn. And as Tevin's going through it, same sort of thing, not really finding a whole lot in there.
All right,
I
so
think we should take the horses.
well, I think we need to take a look at this map and figure out where we're going next. And I don't know if we want to rest up, take a little hour break or something, catch our breath, catch some wind, heal up a little bit.
I'm just doing like Pilates behind everybody. I'm good to go, but take as much time as we need.
I think that sounds good. A rest.
Yeah, just a short one.
Yeah.
Take a little short rest while you kind of examine the map, take a look at it. It looks, you can tell very much just by looking at it, you don't need any rolls for it, that this map doesn't quite seem like it's to scale. Kind of just like hand drawn, just for something as a reference guide for all of Franny's dudes. If he wasn't traveling with them, so that they could use like landmarks more than anything to figure out how to get to his little hideout.
Dysland, why are you rolling hit, or is there you take any damage because your token shows full health?
I was at 27. I was at 18 out of 33.
Okay. Yeah, your token showed like 21 out of 21.
It's not usually it like syncs. So if I do it here, actually it's not even letting me change it on my token now. I can change the red circle and the blue circle, but I can't change the green circle.
You gonna spend any hit dice, Schaloan? Oh, there you go. I like that they added it to the short rest button now.
Might actually do.
I was actually about to ask that. Don't I get a wild shape back?
Yeah, if you hit the button for short rest, it should reset it.
Yeah, I did like 5 times and it didn't. So I was like, okay, I'll just ask and put it back there, I guess.
Well, then we would have to edit something on that character sheet, so that's an easy fix.
Let's see. That'll do.
I don't know. Sorry, I tried to update your
You know
health
where-
bars on the tokens. It's not working for me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you take the short rest, get a little bit of your composure back. Perfect.
All right, so you're saying that map's mostly just landmarks?
Yeah, absolutely. It's where roads split, but it doesn't seem like it's to scale by any means. You can't tell if it's a mile or quarter of a mile or 5 miles. It's just a very crude, like, when you come to this fork, you go left. When you see this big dead tree, take a right, things like that.
Well, I think we should just grab one of the wagons and start following the landmarks. I'm pretty good to go now, so I don't have a lot of magic left, but I'm pretty well almost healed all the way.
All right.
How are you doing, Luminora? You feeling all right?
I'm feeling great.
Splendid.
Like a full night's rest.
Yeah, so as you all head off, you're following these landmarks. Everyone give me a survival. Yeah, like a survival check. Or a nature check. You can re-roll that because I hadn't said both of them.
I got it. I got Nancy.
Survival or nature.
I'll stick with nature.
I got an 8.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
Woof.
Well, thank goodness you're +7.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5.
All right. Tevin
And I
got
got
a
a
19 on that. So as you're going, it was just this first one's was gonna be a low one. So as you're taking this carriage, you see the first couple of landmarks. You're feeling pretty confident that you're on the right track. About an hour or so has passed, and then I'm gonna need another round. Collectively, you need to reach without Tevin, 22 as a group.
Same check.
For
Can you
nature or survival?
Nature or survival. Yep.
Can you give some guidance there, Luminora?
Sure.
All right, I'll roll with guidance then.
Is there a button I have to click for that or no?
So I got a 15.
24.
Nice.
Now the high wisdom kicks
Luminora
in.
alone is like, that's the landmark. Let's keep going this way. Yeah, so you end up veering off of the main road there. It seems kind of like an overgrown, wide, almost walking path. It's wide enough for the horse and carriage to go down, but it looks very overgrown, but it's kind of trampled from carts passing and things like that. As you make your way down that, you start to see the landscape starts getting hilly, more rocks and rocky as the trees kind of start to die down or just start to look more and more bare. So you start seeing more and more rocks, and you see a small cave entrance ahead of you.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
We found Utah. Well, I think we should go check it out.
Go in it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I say we definitely be careful with it. I can take the lead. I can see in the dark, and I probably the toughest one of us to hit.
Tevin, my friend, you stay behind me.
Like up here with the cart, or just behind you?
I wouldn't
Just
stay out
behind
here alone.
me. Listen to the short fellow.
Is there like any check we could do to like see if there's any like traps or anything like that in the like around the cave opening?
Yeah. Traps is investigation.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
19.
It looks clear.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I have chances of me beating that are slim. Even with my D4, I'd still have -1. So, all
Well, after you, good sir.
right, I will take the lead and run point.
So as you make your way into the cave, it starts to slope down, and it just keeps going down at fairly steep, but not rough to make your way down.
Oh, I'm so used to dynamic lighting.
I spoiled you guys.
And I'm lazy.
Was like,
Sean hasn't even seen all the work I put into that.
Oh.
I've showed her
Um,
some of it.
yeah, so
What I've
you
seen
start
of.
making your way down. The ground starts to kind of level out. It starts to feel much more paved. Instead of cave walls, it starts to look more like actual like structured stone walls as you come into this fairly dimly lit corridor. There's some lanterns. Some seem to be magical to where they're just giving off light, but they're not actually producing heat or even really looks like fire. It's just like glowing to produce light.
All right, so since this is becoming more and more like actual constructed, I want to see if I can determine anything from it. Like, who might have built this stuff.
Okay. What exactly are you looking for with that? Like,
Looking to see basically trying to determine how old it is, if it's like, if this was recently built or anything like that.
okay. What kind of check would that be?
I have, as a dwarf, I have stone cunning, which says, whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you are considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check.
Well, give me a
Nice.
history check then.
Yeah, and then I get to add +6 to this. Oops, not guidance, but so that's 15. So that's a 21.
Okay. Yeah. So, excuse me. As it looks very, very old, like thousands of years old. You get the sense that it has been like you don't recognize necessarily like in the history from your history check what peoples might have built it, but you can tell by the age and the wear and the natural like stone decay that it is thousands of years old.
Alright, well, they didn't build this, they just were taking advantage of it. So, Do I see anything to the north of us there?
You do see a corridor. There seems to be a gate at the end of it, kind of stone, wood, little bit of metal here and there, holding it together, and you do see like a faint glow coming from the other side of the gate.
Do we want to mess with this, or do we want to explore the tunnel to the west of us first?
I could try to sneak up ahead.
Why don't we see what's... I kind of want to see what's on the west side of us.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with gates and alert anybody if we're here.
Because we can always come back over here, too.
Yep. You jinxed us. Now there's going to be something that traps us.
Rats.
All right.
We can always go back and get that. No, you've never been adventuring, have you?
Nice stealth forward.
All right, you're going to sneak forward there. Good luck.
I might need it.
Give me a stealth check.
That is a dirty 20.
All right. I mean, you would think that you're walking barefoot in sand with how quiet you're being.
Just gonna peek around this other corner.
Yeah, it's just a short little like cutaway. There's a little bit of a hearth. It is glowing, but there's no heat like radiating from this hearth and fireplace.
Luminora, can you detect magic?
Yes.
All right. Why don't we give her a little time to cast that as a ritual so she can see if there's anything magical around.
Idea.
Mm.
And that way you don't use a spell slot. The beauty of ritual spells.
Absolutely.
There's nothing I've never used this spell before, so there's
nothing you roll. It's up to Chad will describe what you see.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you are casting this as a ritual, you do notice that like from your eyesight, all of the lanterns that are just kind of like glowing do kind of start to glow a little bit brighter just for you. But there's just some sort of spell on them that is making them illuminate, but that's really about all that you're detecting here.
Okay.
Alright, well,
On the hearth, too.
yeah, I was gonna say, go up and I'd stay thinking Valerian and see if you can anything he sees you can look at, because that'll last a little bit of time.
Yeah, 10 minutes and within 30 feet of me.
Yes, same with the hearth. You can kind of gather, I suppose, that currently there's just a spell that's on it to illuminate some light. Probably because you could deduce that it's because there's not a bunch of people around that could benefit from the heat.
Okay.
So it's not like nefarious or anything like that. It's just glowing.
Fair enough. I'm going to continue moving forward.
Okay.
Peek around this corner. There's like a corner up here. I'm gonna peek around that.
Okay. Yeah. So as you peek around, you notice that it's just another corridor, and there's an archway leading into a room. The flooring looks a little bit different, but it just looks like it's been worn and new stone has been packed in there basically to try and keep it walkable.
Alright, do we want to keep going
menacing from
west
behind.
as a group? I don't want to get us to get too far apart.
Yeah, I just kind of wave back at them, like, move up, troops.
Clank, 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 clank.
Well, Cass, do you still have that cloak?
I have it.
Valerian's wearing it.
Oh, okay.
Because it only gives +2. It won't make my armor any quieter. I'm still... And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to roll it. Well, with disadvantage, that's still not bad for Cass. That's a 14.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
That's basically just walking with like a wood-soled shoe on stone at that point in time, just trying not to be heavy-footed.
Hey, that's pretty darn good with a -1 and disadvantage.
What's behind corridor number 3?
All right. As you kind of peek your head around, you see some stairs leading up a little bit to a landing. There is a faint glow coming from up there.
Got 3 options, gang.
Alright, what do we feel here? I think the corridor we just passed might just go to a small room. I don't know. I can't tell, but judging by the stairwell in the hallway, I want to say it might just be a room there. It might be worth just checking this out.
Let's do it.
I'll go forward.
I'll take up the middle.
And you know what? For the heck of it, I'll be taking the dodge action as I walk up.
Okay.
I'm staying behind the corner.
Yeah, as you step in there, it's just a room. There's a couple of benches. That's about all that you really see. There are a couple of to the west of you, Cass. So as you walk into the room, it's to your left. There is a chest sitting on top of kind of like an altar. It's very small. It's ornate. And then there's a couple of like tall standing like vase, if you will.
Vases.
Hey, Luminora, if you're still detecting, I think you might want to come in here.
Okay.
What see you on the chest?
Detecting.
I could just see her like as she's detecting. She just has her hands completely outstretched, just wiggling her fingers. Sparkle hands.
Yeah. As you look around, it's the same sort of thing. Just the lanterns just are a little bit brighter for you. You don't notice anything really magical other than that in this room.
Well, I totally called it. It's a room. Alright, I want to inspect but not touch that little chest thing, see if there's anything attached to it or anything before I even lay a finger on it.
Oh, we're not going to do an ooh shiny?
I'm not the button pusher.
My fingers are itching.
Yeah, give me a investigation check.
That is only a 7.
It looks like a really nice box that's sitting on top of this little altar table with a little cloth underneath it. It looks nice.
Yeah, it's pretty, but I don't see anything, but we know how reliable I've been on that before.
Can I give an investigation on it for him?
I might let Valerian do it. He's probably a little better. He might be a little better.
Okay.
I was going to say just one more person can give it an investigation.
Are you proficient, Steve?
I have a +2, but I'm not proficient.
I have 0.
Yeah. As a rogue, you should probably pick that skill up next time you get a chance.
Definitely. I think I might have picked like perception over investigation for some reason.
Well, everybody wants high perception. Hey, you got the same as me.
Also, with the 7, it's a very nice looking box sitting on a very nice looking cloth on the stove.
Alright, well,
I could always just cast Mage Hand.
I was gonna say you could do that, or I was just gonna reach out with my quarterstaff at max reach and just tap it.
I'll just throw the Mage Hand at it.
Because you got like what 30-foot of range with that? I think with your ledger domain and all.
Oh my gosh.
So, is that what you want to do, Valerian?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Okay. Describe how your mage hand is approaching the box. 'Cause
Slowly.
in my head, I imagine is it Thing from the Addams Family, just like walking and like flicking it. That's what I saw in my head.
No, it's kind of doing like the hand wave that you do when you stick your hand out the car. And it's just kind of like slinking its way over to it. And then very fancy, like it even sticks up its pinky when it tries to lift the latch on the desk.
Okay. Yeah. Are you just lifting the latch so you can like prod it open at another time, or is your mage hand just
like lifting the latch and then just gonna try to like lift the lid open? At kind of one slow but deft movement.
Yeah. As you do that, you see that there's a little vial sitting inside of it from a distance.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
My
My mage hand picks up the vial.
Okay. Is just holding on to it.
Just for like a second to see if, a giant boulder comes crashing down. I summon it back towards me so I can read or look at the vial. So we can look at the vial and see what it is.
Could I use detect magic still? Would that be helpful?
I'll tell you
very
it's magical.
I mean, it's not magical because you were standing outside, like right outside the box. Anyways, it wasn't detecting anything for you.
Oh, okay.
So nothing really changed there. It's just a vial with some red liquid in it. Is the mage hand still just like holding it in front of you?
Yeah, just right in front of my face there. Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna grab it, or are you just gonna? Because right now it's literally just floating in the air. You know.
I'll grab it.
Okay.
Grab it, and I'll put it in my.
Yeah. As you grab it, you notice that the red liquid kind of glimmers just a little bit, just from being jostled a little bit, and you would recognize this as a potion of greater healing. You were so worked up over this.
Ass had me all nervous.
Hey, I've gone through enough stuff where things blow up if you look at them wrong.
There was the incident with the mimic.
All right, so now we've done door number 2. Do we want to do door number 1 or door number 3?
Luminora, I'd like to hear what you have to say on this.
I vote door number 1.
So the gate.
The gate.
To the gate we go. Expeditiously.
Must buy Frodo and Sam time.
All right. Is this thing locked in any way, shape, or form?
Nope, it's just down.
Oh, it's like more like a portcullis.
Yeah, like a up and down kind of gate.
All right. I'm gonna step. Let me see if I can lift this thing up. Hopefully it's not super loud.
All right, so I would like to try to lift the portcullis.
Okay. Yeah. Give me. I mean, it's not that heavy. But if you're trying to do it quietly, give me a stealth check.
That'll not do well. Yep, that's a 3.
I throw the cloak on him quick.
Yeah. So you start lifting it. It's creaking. You hear the gears to kind of assist with the lifting. Clank, clank, clank. And it, you get it part way up, and maybe you don't have the best grip on it at first because you're trying to be as gentle and quiet as possible. It slips, slams back down into the stone. You hear it echo, just this goosh, goosh, goosh. Nothing happens.
Well,
So you go back to lifting it up, and then you're able to get it up.
it's a good
Wait,
bet.
listen.
The Empire knows we're here.
Listen. Drums.
I was about to say the same thing.
Okay.
So as you walk into this room, there seems to be these weird writings on the ground in different colored paint. They're also glowing, giving off a light. But even as you're approaching it, Luminora, your detect magic still hasn't caught on to anything nefarious or anything like that. But there does seem to be some etchings in the different colors that are glowing that just basically show like the cycle of life, from growth to death to decay and just back around. I would like everyone to give me an investigation check.
Investigation. 19.
13.
4.
Oh.
4.
I just pat Cass on the back. Pretty, isn't it?
It was just a bad roll, no matter what. It was a natural 2.
So, Cass, you're just kind of looking around and being like, this stone is really old. I don't know really what's going on here. Luminora, as you look around, you notice kind of in the far back corner directly behind the gate. So you do notice that there's a couple more of those like ornate little trinket boxes. One of them looks very decrepit and smashed. One of them, again, looks very pristine, sitting on a nice cloth. You see broken glass around the floor around those. And then Valerian, you notice that in the other back corner that there's a table with a bunch of like parchments sprawled out, and then there's a big heavy leatherback tome, but there's like frayed pages sticking out of it.
I wish to investigate further.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take both of your previous investigation rolls for this. So Luminora, you find another potion of greater healing in the intact box, and then Valerian, as you investigate the tome, there's not a lot of blank pages, a lot of very faded pages with scribblings of a language that you do not know. But you do find one that's still sticking out of the book. It's like on a thicker piece of parchment compared to everything else, where it looks like they had like ripped pages out or ripped apart scrolls to keep this one thicker sheet protected.
See. And I still can't understand the language, though.
All right. Yeah.
Can I not understand the language?
You cannot.
Okay.
But maybe someone in your party can.
What languages do you read?
I'll have you know I am fluent in Dwarvish and Elvish. And a little secret language and a little secret language I can't really tell you about.
Well, that's more than me, because I'm just common and Dwarvish, so.
Can I walk up and just try to start reading it?
Yeah, as you start walking up to it, so does Tevin, and he looks at it and he mentions that he can't read all of it. Some of these words, some of these scrawlings look familiar. I see the word undying, and many, but I don't know too much more. It's not quite something that I know.
I know some of these words.
Do you recognize at least what language it is?
It looks to be abyssal.
Oh, I know that language.
You do?
Splendid.
I do.
Okay. Well, here. How about you read it then?
Perfect. I take the book from Tevin and I try reading what he can't make out.
All right. I'm going to send you, Luminora, a private message. You might not have the perfect understanding of this language, but this is roughly what it translates to.
Okay. I can read it aloud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. It reads here, a prophecy of an all-powerful creature from the beginning of time who sought and found immortality to bring destruction to the worlds through manipulation, possession, and disease. Inhabits the bodies of many and can body jump as needed to carry out its wishes. That's what I can make out, guys.
That's not scary at all.
I love this for us.
Yeah. I might have peed a little. That sounds really bad.
Alright, well, I think we're on to door number 3 now.
Yeah, we don't have to go through door number 3. We can go home.
We can go home. Yeah.
What will be the fun in that?
I can think of lots of fun things to do at home.
Yeah, and then nobody will remember
Especially
who you
with my
are
mage hand.
or who you were.
Buddy.
He's just baiting us. He's a master at that.
And don't you forget it.
Alright. Up the stairs we go, taking the dodge action along the way because I am don't want to walk into some horrible trap.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
So as you make your way up into this room, you notice a similar, very like pinkish purple glowing rune on the ground. Very much matches the pinkish purple glowing rune from behind the gate, where it starts to show it's like a picture etched into the ground that's glowing, where it's showing that same cycle of the circle of life, if you will. This one depicts decay.
I'm trying really hard not to sing Elton John right now, but
We can't afford that. We can't afford those those licensing. But I also really wanted to. While you are in this room, it just kind of seems like a long room. There seems to be a cutaway both to the right and to the left as you look down the length of this room. So you come to the top of the stairs and it just opens up to your left.
so about halfway to my left in this room, is that like just like floor engravings, or is that like a more sarcophagi looking?
It's just ornate flooring.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm gonna skirt along the outside, still taking the dodge action.
Following in his footsteps here.
Devin, behind.
Safe and sorry, man.
Everyone give me an investigation check. Again.
13.
16.
18.
Nice.
18. All right. So we'll start with the 13 and 16. They both see the same. So also give me all perception checks at the same time. With the 13 and 16 for Luminora and Valerian, you do notice that there's back kind of by the way that you came by that pinkish purple rune, there was a little like half stone pillar, maybe came up to about chest height, and there was a small vase sitting on there, and it was kind of reflecting that purplish pink light, but not a bunch. Cass, with an 18 for investigation, you notice, even as you're approaching, the cutaway to your right shows a stairwell going down, and you hear kind of like wind, kind of like an air current coming from down there, and then up to the top, up to your left, it looks that all of a sudden the stonework and all that kind of fades away, and it just looks like loose gravel also sloping down. With those perception checks, really the only thing that any of you notice would be Valerian with a 10, that to the right, on top of that, noticing and audibly hearing like an air current, you feel like warmth, which you haven't really noticed in the corridors or the other rooms since you've been down here.
Feels warm up there.
All right, so it's warm to the north of us, where the wind sound is.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I look in that vase? Is it like an open top vase? And the light's coming like from within the vase?
Yeah.
Can I I want to tiptoe up to it and kind of like on my tiptoes peek, try and peek into the vase?
Yeah, you notice another vial in there, and it would just be a regular healing potion.
Okay.
So,
I don't know why. I kind of want to explore the south first. I know it looks a little sketch, but...
I will follow your lead, O Flamebeard.
Alright, well, I'm gonna tread as carefully as I can. Again, dodge action or whatever to try to down here, but I wouldn't follow too close. The stone works a little loose.
Follow about 15 feet behind him.
Yeah, dodging the whole way.
Because,
Yep.
to quote Star Wars, I got a bad feeling about this.
That's 2 on the night.
Alright. So far, nothing's tried to kill me.
And then, Cass, as you round the corner, you've kind of made your way down this slope, kind of like loose gravel. As you start to round the corner, give me a perception check with advantage.
That is only a 10.
Okay. So with that, you do notice that it's kind of damp down here. You can't tell if it's just natural moisture because you're far underground and there's not a lot of solid stonework in the ground to kind of keep things like the moisture from the ground from coming up, or if it's something else.
Alright, I kind of want to like peek around the corner a little bit, and then I want to use my divine sense.
Okay. What all does your divine sense give you again?
The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor. Powerful good readings like heavenly music is an action. You open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you.
Okay. I need everyone to roll initiative. As that happens, as you start casting this, you start noticing that moisture in the rock kind of start to shake a little bit as this sludge starts to grow out of the ground into this large behemoth of a giant sludge monster. It resembles much like one of those monsters that you have encountered back at that tavern with Tevin, a couple weeks back. But this one looks more put together, not as like loose of sludge. It has some definition to its muscular structure as it forms.
Does it happen to ping anything on my divine sense? As fiend or undead?
It does not for that.
Okay.
But
Yes,
you feel it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I just one of those like just clarifying what kind of creatures these are. So all right. So I don't know if you.
I thought I cleared those. I apologize. Yes, we will have to clear all those. I apologize. I forgot to clear that turn order from last time.
No. Looks like you accidentally rolled twice there, Luminora.
Yeah, I don't know why, but sometimes it says that no token was selected, and then other times it's fine. So I thought if I rolled again, it would go away. So everyone can see that then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought no one else could see that but me because of that warning message it.
No, it just means it's not adding it to the initiative tracker.
Okay.
Like, I rolled well, yet still going last. At least among our group. I don't know what this thing's going at, but
Why did that change all of those? Oh my goodness. I am struggle bus for sure.
All aboard.
I'm guessing they are not seeing this thing yet.
No, they have not rounded the corner yet.
We got company!
We know now.
Running action.
I am so sorry that I messed that up so badly. But there we are. So
Lumi.
this Tevin hears you yell, and is just going to grab his mace, kind of scoot around Luminora and Valerian as he kind of scurries his way down the loose rock, but is just going to hold his mace and just take the dodge action. He doesn't know what's around there yet and is kind of scared to run out there first. So then, Valerian, that will be you.
I would like to use my cunning action to take the hide action.
Okay.
As I just poke around this corner
Okay.
And then hand crossbow shot at this thing as soon as I see it.
Okay.
Is that with advantage for being hidden, or?
I believe so. Or do I need to make you roll a stealth check first?
He's got to roll stealth to make sure he doesn't fumble it.
22?
Yep. Go ahead then roll with advantage.
24, actually. Nat 20.
Oh, you love to see it.
Sneak attack.
That's going to be so much damage.
Yeah, roll for damage.
That's effectively 8d6.
There's that. And then it's a D6 or D8 for my... I should know this.
Sneak attack is d6,
Okay, so...
but it's 3d6 double to 6d6.
That's right, okay. 2 plus 7 is 29, plus 6,
It's,
35.
yeah, I was going to say it's 35.
You pop around, and as you take this shot, the sludge golem is still like forming into its like full body as just this arrow goes through its chest as everything's still tightening up, and it splatters so much sludge out its back and to its sides that it almost shrinks in stature a little bit. You know, it's no longer this 15-foot tall behemoth. It's like it lost so much sludge that it like dropped down to about 10 feet tall.
I like to think that as I just rounded the corner after Cass was like, "We've got company," just like poked my head around and I just was like, "Ugh," and just quickly just like
Ew.
hip fired. So, yeah.
Okay. And then because you took your cunning action, does that mean that you don't have another attack? Is that correct?
Right. That would be my bonus action.
Okay. All
So
right.
that would be my turn.
All right. And then that goes to Luminora. That is now your turn.
Okay, I am going to cast. Okay, so let me get this straight. He's like 10 feet tall now, and he's like full health or something, or.
Not full health. I mean, you would assume that because of how tall he was, that he lost so much of his sludge just because as he was still forming that, I mean, that he's not as big and strong as what he would have been.
Okay.
We see the health bar. That's why she asked.
Oh, that's not accurate.
I figured it wasn't accurate after Valerian.
35.
Yeah, 35, whatever. I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere.
You have to move up because you gotta be able to see where you can cast it.
I'll just move like to the side of the wall here. And that's 5 feet. I'm gonna put it right here in this square.
Okay. Okay.
And sorry, when I like place it, can I ram it into a creature? Or do I have to place it first?
You place it as your action, and then you ram it as a bonus, I believe.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Okay. So kind of place it just right next to it, and then shove it into him.
Yep.
That's two. Sorry for the interruption, dear heroes, but I just have to ask. Are you like me and my friends, where your food tends to be lacking just a little something extra? If you are, then look no further than Crybaby Craig's hot sauce to fix all of your spicy and saucy needs. Because this pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce will go on practically anything. It was started by Craig himself in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, and this sauce has become a staple of all hot sauces and flavor enhancers across the lands for many, many moons. If you don't believe me, go and check out crybabycraigs.com and order yours today to, quite frankly, just better your life. Or at least your taste buds. But be sure to let them know that we sent you and enjoy the best damn hot sauce there is. Now, let's get back to the show. Matt Flair. Fantastic. And then what does Flaming Sphere do for damage?
He's got a dex save or take 2d6 fire.
And then what is the...
Spell save?
Yeah, thank you.
15.
15 rolls an 18 on that.
So you
Okay.
take half, which would just basically be whatever you roll on the dice if he's vulnerable, like these things tend to be.
Oh yeah, so roll the regular damage.
Oh, sorry. Click, please. There we go.
Probably popping up for level. So 8 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, so this big ball of fire just ignites just past this giant sludge golem, and as it moves forward, you start to hear this sizzle as it just roars out in pain for that 8 damage.
He didn't like that.
All right, and then anything else that you want to do with your turn, Luminar?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, and then
How's he looking now?
he's looking hurt, and he's definitely not enjoying that fire. And then Cass, that is you.
All right, I'm gonna saunter, over to the east here a little bit, 1, 2, 3, and then move up a little closer north to him, and then I'm just gonna try to smack him with the quarterstaff.
All right,
As a 17 to hit.
a 17 does hit.
That is 9 bludgeoning.
All right. Yeah, as you swing into him, one side of this golem is sizzling and burning, and then just to get smacked by this quarterstaff, just looking rough, but still standing.
Well, good thing I have a second attack.
Might not still be standing after this.
That's only a 9 with my second attack.
Yeah, 9 misses.
All right, and then my spear butt bonus action attack.
Spear butt.
That's a 25 to hit
Well, the 25 does hit. Yeah.
for another 8.
Still standing, but looking so very rough. It's almost like losing its form, but is still standing well enough. And so then that goes to the sludge golem. Remind me again with flaming sphere, if he starts his turn or ends his turn in the flame, does he have to do the deck save again? Or is it if he's still there at the start of your next turn, Luminar?
Ends its turn. Within 5 feet of the sphere, must make.
Okay. Well, then he's just going to take a couple of steps around to get out of there. And then he is going to make a slam attack on Cass there.
Yep.
I'm assuming that a 10 does not hit.
No.
The tank of a
No.
man that Cass is.
Nope.
Then I'm assuming that for his second slam attack, that a 15 also misses.
Nope. 15 does not get through my shield. I'm just standing there holding it back.
All right. Well, that's about all he can do with his turn. So then it goes back up to Tevin, who is going to lower his mace, because now that he has a more clear view of him, he's just going to lift his hand right over Valerian's shoulder and cast Produce Flame towards the sludge golem. He rolls a 17, which does hit. And as he casts Produce Flame, Valerian, you just feel this quick rush of air and warmth as this fire shoots right over your shoulder. You see it hit the golem square in the chest, and as you hear the sizzle and some of the goop and sludge start to drop from where the fire hit him, you notice that the rest of its form falls away and just and turns into a puddle in the ground.
I turn around immediately. High five, Tevin.
He grabs your hand. He doesn't quite get it.
I'm like confused for a second, but I just go with it and like do like a high five, like handshake hybrid. Well done, my little horned one.
All right. I'm gonna try to move around where that here. See what's back in this last little corner to the west.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's not a lot. It's just this wet, loose ground all around. You notice that there's some glowing from like mushrooms and roots and stuff like that, but nothing is really in here.
All right. Well, I guess it's back up the other way. Just be careful trying to get out.
Single file.
So as you guys are making your way back up the loose gravel, back into this room, debating on going north, are you guys talking about anything?
It seemed like a strange place for just one random monster.
It was odd that there was just one down there and didn't seem to be guarding much of anything. But maybe it's where they disposed of things down there.
Maybe he got lost.
But let's keep going, heading up these stairs and see if we can't find where Franny ended up.
Tevin, you nailed him.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right?
It was, my friend. It really was.
Coolest thing I've seen all day.
Well, did you see my hip fire? That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yes, listen to the horned one.
Alright. So what's in this little corridor?
So as you're going down there, it just kind of looks like rock crystals jutting out from the stone. They're just glowing. They do emanate a little bit of heat. But you notice that at the end of the corridor is where most of the source of heat is coming from.
Well,
I think we're getting warmer.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's see what's down here. So my armor doesn't get too hot. Alright.
So as you step into this room, you see a bunch of like pulleys and mechanisms. Can't quite tell if this is like a murder room or if it's just a weird forge of some sort. It doesn't look like a forge of what Cass would recognize from his like youth and growing up. It doesn't look like any other sort of like traditional forge by any means.
Well, I think we found the source of the heat. Somebody's making something down here with this, but there's a lot of chains. And is there anything attached or spanning in between these chains, or is it just chains going all throughout the room?
The chains are just kind of going all throughout the room, going through different various like pulleys and stuff like that. And you notice that in the middle, it's very much open, where there's a little bit of fire, but like lava and some magma, and it just kind of looks to be like a black stone with those same rune carvings from that one room where it shows all of the cycle of life in there.
All right, let's walk around, check this room out, but I don't recommend touching anything unless you absolutely have to.
I'm gonna follow Cass here.
I see how it is.
Oh,
Maybe like
that's Tevin. I thought you were Tevin.
Could I do like a perception check maybe, just to see if I can kind of get a grasp on kind of, I guess, how it works, or what's being made here, or what's being used as. I can kind of get like a general idea of situation.
Be a little bit more specific. What are you trying to figure out? What is actually like? Are you looking to see how it works? Are you trying to figure out what it's used for? Like,
yeah, I mean, if it's a forge, like, if it's kind of if it's got any sort of indicator of, okay, put material in here, get material out, how it works, I guess, would be just the simplest way to do that.
Okay, then give me more, instead of perception, give me an investigation check.
Nat 20.
All right, yeah, with a nat 20, kind of on that northeast wall where you're at, you see that there's a crank there, and that there's a matching crank across the forge, kind of over by where Luminora is standing, that run up to some of the chains, and you can see that by cranking those, the pulleys work to raise and lower that stonework in and out of the forge.
All right, and you said there's like the carvings of like the various stages of life are here.
Yep, they're the stone that's attached to all the chains is not fully submerged. They're almost at like floor level. So if you were daring enough, you could jump from the edge of the opening onto that and across where it would technically be level. So it's not fully up to where you could look inside of it, but it's not fully submerged to where it's in the process of heating whatever might go inside of it.
Alright.
We could possibly crank it up.
Yeah, I had a slightly different thought. So we've seen symbols of various stages, like that one that was in the hallway that we just came out of. That was in the, I think that one, you said that was in decay, right? Alright, that gives me a slight idea. And I want to go back down to where we just fought Mr. Sludge Guy and grab some of those mushrooms.
Okay. Yeah, so as you make your way down there, you grab some mushrooms. They are dark reds, almost like a dark, like blood red, and some, browns and tans and stuff like that. So,
oh, definitely not chanterelles. All right, let's go. And I want to bring those back up, and I don't think, obviously, putting these mushrooms in a forge isn't going to do much. They're just going to burn up. I want to go back to the room where we saw this, and I want to take one of the mushrooms. I want to put it in the vase.
Into the vase?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you drop the mushrooms into the vase, they just kind of all start to glow. They start getting darker and darker, like they are decaying.
So much for matching decay with decay on that.
I mean, they're still within shape, but like they haven't like crumbled away. But now they all kind of match, like very dark, like deep red, brownish. They're very like soft now, instead of some of them, like the lighter tan ones and stuff like that, looked more ripe, I guess, if you would. But they're like, if you forget that you have mushrooms from the grocery store in your fridge because you put something fresh in front of it and forget about them for like a few days, they're kind of to that consistency where they're very soft and slimy.
All right, well, I want to see if I can pull them back out of the vase now.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, well, that was just a thought. I mean, I guess now we can try to crank this thing up, but I have this suspicion that we need. I mean, we've only found healing potions and only seen decay as one symbol. That's what I wanted. I thought the mushrooms, but I could always try to jump onto that thing and see if there's look at the symbols there. I've probably got the best jump of any of us.
You do have those sturdy little legs.
Yeah, if you want to do that, go for it.
Yeah, I'll get a nice running jump, because with a 10-foot run up, you can jump horizontally equal to your strength score.
What is your strength score?
16.
Okay.
So I can jump 16 feet.
Yeah, and it's only about 8 to 10 feet, depending on where you jump from.
Yeah.
So as you land on it, kind of starts to sway a little bit, shake, rattle,
And roll.
and it starts to slowly sink just from a little bit of added weight. You're still about 10, 15 feet above the lava, but it is starting to just slowly go down, just from the added weight.
Are there any kind of symbols or anything on top of here now that I can look at now that I'm on top of the sinking?
Yeah. As you're looking at it, I mean, you do see all 5 of the symbols where it's birth, growth, death, decay, and then there's one that almost just looks like it's just like a circle, which you can interpret however you want. It is still starting to sink. The birth and growth ones are the ones that are glowing the most, are actually glowing on it. So you have kind of like an orangish and a red.
I like that.
Also, just saying there are 2 hand cranks.
Yeah, I think you
That-
guys.
Yeah, I was gonna grab
So
one.
he doesn't just keep falling into the lava.
Yeah, lava damage is bad, like really bad.
Let's get cranking.
I grab one of them. Start to keep it from at least going down any further.
Yeah. And Tevin will grab the other one directly.
Oh, I was on it.
Oh, you were. Okay.
Yep.
My crank.
So at least it stops, and you notice as Cass, give me a perception check with advantage, because as you're looking at the symbols,
Thank God for advantage. That's a 15.
with a 15, you notice that when you are looking at the symbols, that the pinkish purple one starts to glow as well for decay while you're standing on it.
Interesting. I'm gonna drop one of the squishy mushrooms on it.
Okay. It stays glowing.
All right. So the which 2 aren't lit? So we have birth and
And an unknown.
an unknown are glowing.
Mhm.
And then the other ones are like life and death.
Yep. Birth, growth, death, decay, and then unknown.
All right. I'm trying to figure this out here. I'm not sure what what we need to do to light these other symbols up. I'm gonna go over to the I'm gonna put my hand on the life one,
Okay.
and I will put in 1 point of lay on hands into it.
Okay.
And see if
So you notice as you do that, it starts to glow even brighter. From what it originally was, it was kind of dull. So now it's fully glowing.
All right, we need to pump in some other stuff.
Did we get the vase?
Well, no, I got a theory, but I don't want to be having you guys here standing on these cranks forever. I'm gonna try to jump off, like back up, and then just jump.
Just arms and legs flying through the air. Ah.
Yeah, I mean that it gave you enough of a running start. So you land on the edge, kind of have to catch your balance. You hear a little bit of the metal creaking just because it's constantly overheat, so it's a little pliable, but you get over just fine.
Hey, Luminora, I'll hold the crank. I think you need to use that spectral ghostly hand thing you use on bad guys on the death symbol.
Chill touch.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do I figure out my jumping?
It's if you run, it is equal to the number of your strength score. So if you have a 10, it's 10 feet. If it's 8, it's 8 feet.
Where do I see my strength score? Hold
If you- left side of your character sheet, kind of top left.
Oh,
Just be
okay.
like-
10.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah, so-
I will do that. Running.
All right, Tevin, you hold the chain, and then I want to like kind of stand right here and like assist her jumping.
Okay.
Kind of like hold out my hands, and she grabs it, and just kind of pull her to try to just give her an extra little push across, just because it's just about.
Yeah, absolutely. Tevin is holding on. He almost looks like it's a little bit tough for him, but you see him grab his staff to kind of use as a lever so that he's got a really good grip on it.
Okay, so I chill touch the symbol then.
Okay. Forgot about chill touch when I was thinking of this. Yeah, so as you shoot out your chill touch and it touches the symbol for death, it starts to glow.
Right.
Sweet. So then we just have the unknown left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything but unknown is lit.
If we crank this thing up,
I think we need all this stuff lit first. Because I have a feeling this is going to be our way out.
Any ideas what the unknown is?
I don't know. I put in a tiny bit of healing to get the life symbol. You were able to use your ghostly death hand to get the death symbol. The other two were already lit. So I'm going to guess it's some kind of element or something. Might even be fire, because that seems to be something this place doesn't like.
could it be? No. Can I try? Well, I could probably reach from here. Mind Sliver?
What exactly does that do?
Psychic.
Psychic.
Yeah, you can definitely try casting it.
Okay. I will cast Mind Sliver aimed at the unknown symbol.
All right. What does that spell look like when you cast it in this instance?
Just kind of like very much like a Dwayne Johnson's smolder, just directed at the symbol, and then just like a almost like anime type of like hard zoom, like
You
the
hear
air around my head,
blue
my
steeliness
forehead.
from Zoolander. Just
Yes, there we go. You got it. Mm.
as you do that, I mean, you look very provocative and seductive, but nothing happens.
I hold the gaze, just hoping until
Just
I
in
give
case.
up. Just get set.
Alright, well, hey, Tevin, can you try hitting it with some fire?
Yeah.
Here, I'll hold the crank.
Okay. Yeah, and he casts produce flame at it. It just the 4 symbols just glow a little bit brighter, but nothing happens to the unknown.
It wouldn't be the sludge, would it?
I mean, we can try a drop of that. I still got the vial.
Must be worth a shot.
Yeah.
Which places?
Alright, yep. Hop on off. Yeah. Alright. And then I'm gonna take a little bit that vial sludge and just try to drip just like a drop onto the unknown symbol.
Yeah, it hits and you see the sludge kind of like dance around the symbol, but it doesn't start to glow, and then it just soaks into the stone.
What about like blood or something?
Cut yourself.
Hey guys, I have a cantrip that I could try. It is along the lines of necromancy.
Dark.
Luminora just did something similar to that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could try it. It can't hurt.
Okay. Yeah. So, Lumi, can you hold the crank just so I can get a little bit closer, so I can?
You bet.
So Tevin's gonna take a little bit of a running start. He's gonna be like, Cass, can you hold out your hands just in case?
Yep, I'll catch you.
Right. He jumps across. Both Valerian and Luminora, you feel the cranks kind of start to go, but you're able to hold them in place. It's the power of pulleys. And Tevin's going to kind of kneel down, place his hand on the other symbol, and he's going to cast Spare the Dying on it. It starts to glow for a second, but then it stops. And he just kind of looks up and he's like, I thought maybe.
That was a good thought. I mean, we're not expending resources here, so that's not a bad thing.
Anybody got a scroll of Revivify on them?
I mean, I already tried a little healing that worked on the life one. Well, I got a couple other things I might be able to try here. Let's try this, and I'm going to take off my glove, put my left hand down on it, and I'm going to cast Mage Armor into it, which is Abjuration.
Okay. And as you do that, what does it look like?
So when I cast that, it almost looks like a set of like chains that are
coming out of the mark on the back of my hand, and it would go in and almost normally on a person would like almost wrap around on like a chainmail shirt, but in this case it's just probably just going all into the symbol.
Okay. You notice as you do that once again the symbol starts to glow. It holds the glow a little bit longer. You start to feel the stone that you and Tevin are on shake a little bit, and you hear this deep guttural echo from down the hallway. That's kind of just south of where Valerian is. There's just like a wooden door, but it sounds like a guttural sound is coming from there, and then it stops almost as immediately when the rune stops glowing.
Seems to just absorb magical energy. So maybe magic in general is the kind of the key to this. And I got another thing I don't think we're going to need today that I can kind of try to pump into it. And
yeah, I'm going to jump back across. I don't want to have too much weight on this for them.
Yep, go ahead. I'll help you.
Yeet.
Yep. And then I'm going to keep the glove off, and then I'm going to put down there, and I will pump Arcane Lock, which is a 2nd level spell, into it.
Okay. And what does this one look like as you are doing that?
So Arcane Lock, it literally almost just forms like a spectral giant padlock, and that goes onto the symbol and then just kind of latches down and locks.
That's so smart. As the symbol is kind of taking hold of the magic, it starts to glow, and it's kind of a dim glow, but it's not diminishing as quickly, and you hear that same guttural roar from down the hallway, and you notice that some of the fire and lava beneath you, it kind of starts to swell, not quite swirl or grow or anything like that. It just kind of almost like a ripple effect as everything starts to shudder, and you hear the sound of a latch undo, and then you hear 2 more latches. The first one, Cass, is directly beneath you on this stone, and then right by where Luminora is standing, a door clicks almost to be unlocked, and then the door that's just south of Valerian also clicks to be unlocked.
After I finish casting that into it, you almost see more of that like black lightning a little bit emanate from Cass's mark, and he kind of winces a little bit in pain, and he puts his glove back on.
Everyone give me a perception check as well.
What can we perceive? With a 21.
The 21, okay.
12.
It's a 21. You're just dyslexic.
And Cass with a nat 1.
I didn't. That was my other previous one.
That was your previous one. My bad.
Where I had the advantage, thankfully.
Oh, that's right.
So I will.
It's been a minute.
Perception. That's only an 8, though.
Okay. So Cass with your 8, you're not really paying attention, other than that you're wincing in pain after this black lightning kind of shot out of your hand from using your mark. Luminora with a 12, you notice the black lightning as well, but it kind of arcs out of his hand from his mark into that symbol, the unknown symbol. And Valerian, you notice that as that black lightning hits the symbol, it starts to glow more and wrap around that astral like padlock, how Cass described it, and just wraps around it and kind of crackles before it dissipates into the symbol. And now the symbol is glowing stronger.
It seemed to like that.
Yeah, well, I don't have much else I can put into it that I don't want to. I could put in one more thing, but it sounds like things opened up around here. So, I'm gonna get off the suspended thing that's suspended over lava now.
So as Cass hops back off of that, no longer having that added weight on there, So what are you guys going to do? There's a door to the west and to the east. Both you heard click on lock.
I also heard something click in the underneath me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we try cranking it up?
You got it.
Get up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that clockwise or counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise for a winch.
Yeah. We'll just it's like putting in a USB stick. You do it once, it doesn't go in, you flip it. You do it a second time, it doesn't work, so you go back to the first way and it works that time. Same sort of thing. You kind of do a little bit of a twist one way, the other, and then back. That happened to be right the first time. As you lift it up, you notice that this stone forge insert, I guess, is about 10 to 15 feet deep as well. So as you pull it up, it is just you see more and more underneath it. And you notice that there is black sludge oozing out of the sides of it, running down and then running back into it before it touches the lava. As you see the heat kind of lick and flick up at it from the fire and the lava and stuff like that. So it's actively trying to avoid what's the lava and stuff like that, and it's the stone is shaking a little bit.
Seems more like a sludge prison.
Well, yeah, but I'm of the mind now that it might be better to just let this thing drop into the lava, personally. I mean, we've got the black sludge in there. I mean, cooking it's never a bad thing.
I gotta say, I'm on the same page with you.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So we just let it loose then?
Yeah, let it drop.
Maybe slowly, so there's no splash.
Let's T1000 this thing.
So yeah, just slowly drop that back in.
Yeah, as it's getting submerged into the lava, you hear a little bit of a sizzle. It's the stone starts to shake even more, and you hear a deeper and more angry guttural roar from down the eastern corridor.
Well, let's submerge this thing and go check out one of the other places.
Like, not the east, right?
Oh, we can check out either one. We're just gonna...
Not this.
I want this stone thing submerged. I don't want to open it up.
You said this is like a corridor, or is this just a straight up door on the east side?
I think that's the east.
There is a door, it's just closed. But you heard it unlatch, so it's not locked.
Can I try to stealthily peek the door?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys just letting the stonework just slowly seep in?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna let that go.
Okay. Yeah, give me a stealth check as you open the door.
Oh, almost did it. 13. 15.
Yeah, as it opens, I mean, it creaks, but it's not super loud. But it's also not the most quiet. So as that opens, you notice that it's the hallway is much more dirt, loose stone, and a lot of bones are scattered across the floor. They look like they're very old, that they've been walked over, crushed, everything like that, like they're embedded into the dirt and gravel.
Well, I hate this. Okay.
So, door number 2?
Yes.
Can I open this other door here by me, the west?
Yeah. Are you just opening it straight out, or are you gonna try and be
Just Sparta kick
like?
that thing.
I'll try and peek it.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
14.
Same sort of thing. It creaks open. It's not super loud or anything like that, though. So as you look in, there isn't actually on this map. It shows that there's like lava through the floor. It's not, but it is a lot of loose gravel that looks wet, and there is some glowing of light, but you can tell that from down this corridor, it's much colder than the forge room that you're currently in.
Okay. So are we going
I don't like either one of them.
west?
I say we check out the east first. Or the west first, sorry.
I vote the west.
To the west.
So the gravel's just like, it looks like wet, like with water then type thing?
Yeah,
You
kind of like when you went down that kind of like stone hill where all those mushrooms and stuff were from a couple of rooms ago, where you encountered that big sludge golem.
Okay. Just making sure it wasn't like, I don't know, sludgy stuff.
Alright, I'll take the lead.
My good man.
Alright.
Right. And then as you kind of round the corner, you see that the stone has kind of been like pushed up all the way to the ceiling. So there is a dead end. It's glowing. It's a bit chilly. Even though you're still pretty close to the forge, as you get deeper and deeper into this, it gets cold pretty quickly.
That's never good. You would think with all this lava around, this place would never get cold.
And then if while you're at that kind of dead end, what are you looking to do?
Is there anything I can see around in the room, or is it?
You can kind of make out some like wood planks kind of sticking out of the rubble, but that's about it.
I'll try to pull out these planks, see if anything comes loose.
Okay. Yeah, as you start pulling on it, there's a little bit of weight to it. So give me a strength check, Cass.
16.
With a 16, as you start to pull on the planks, you realize that it's like a lid to a crate that is not secured down. So as you start to pull it out, some rocks and mud fall into the crate, but there's now an open box.
All right, well, let's see what's in the box.
Okay. Give me an investigation check. Cast with advantage.
Investigation with advantage and my extra bonus. So that is an 11.
With an 11. You know, as you pulled the lid off, you notice that some rocks and stuff fell into it. But as you look into the crate, there's just liquid in it. You don't see any of the rocks, and it's pitch black.
All right, I'm not seeing anything in this little old crate.
But why is it cold?
That's a very good question. Something's sucking all the heat out of this.
Well, to the east then, I suppose.
Yeah.
Everybody give me a perception check as well.
Let us perceive.
26.
And Cass, you can also do that with advantage.
7.
Oops, no, just 11 because I don't have the bonus to. So 11. Because
Okay. So, you kind of look into. We'll start with Valerian. You don't notice anything. You're just confused as well as to why it's so cold in here. Cass, as you look down into the crate, you're a little confused. As you start to turn away from the crate, Luminora, you notice that the glowing in the room starts to diminish, almost like it's going towards that crate. And you notice liquid start to rise over the edge of the crate and spill onto the ground. And I'm going to need you guys to roll initiative.
Oh no.
You knew.
That's a 9 for me.
That's a 7 for me.
13 for me.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. No, not that. As that sludge kind of piles over, you notice suddenly another sludge monster takes shape. This one is not nearly as massive, but still, again, it kind of resembles one of the sludge monsters that you had seen and battled back at that tavern, but one of the smaller ones. But again, this one looks much more toned All right. And again, I guess Tevin's going to go first. He doesn't know what's going on, so he's just kind of like staying back. He's just holding his quarterstaff, not knowing what to do. So he's just going to take the dodge action. So Luminora, that is now you.
I am going to go up to him. I'm going to use my Halo of Spores on him.
Okay. What's the DC on that again? Is that 14?
15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He does not succeed on that. So that's 4 damage, correct?
I want to say it's 8. He didn't succeed?
It's 4 unless you're in your symbiotic entity.
Oh, right. Okay. And then I'm going to attack him with my scimitar.
Okay.
21 to hit.
21 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
7 slashing.
All right. Yeah, so as you swing into it, just some sludge flies off the end of your blade as you swing through. And then that is now its turn. Okay. Right off the bat, it is going to look at both Cass and Luminora, and it is just going to almost yell out, but as it does, it looks like it's projectile vomiting this black sludge at both of you. I need a dexterity saving throw. It's a DC 12.
That's a 0.
Oof.
There we go. 17.
All right. So, Luminora, you pass on it. Obviously, Cass does not, so you are now restrained until the end of its next turn. Also, at the end of your turn, you can roll to try and get out of it. But that is now Valerian.
Okay. He's just gonna walk up and see this little mud dude puking all over my friends, and whip out the old hand crossbow and try to take a shot. 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
For 14 damage.
14 damage. Okay.
And 17 to hit for the next shot.
A 17 also hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
For 8 damage. 8 more piercing.
Total of 22. Okay. Yeah, so as you peek around the corner, you just see the last bit of this sludge spewing all over the place. You see Cass is coated in it, and it almost like immediately hardens to hold him. You see Luminora it just kind of like drips off of her. You peep around the corner and just one shot after the other, just right in between Luminora and Cass, just right into the sludge monster. It did not like that, but it is still standing.
Yuki sludge beast.
And then Cass, that is you. So you are restrained.
Yeah, and he said I can try to break out at the end of my turn.
Yep. So it'd be another DC 12 dex save.
Alright, well, before then, I'll just, I guess, swing my quarterstaff at disadvantage.
Okay.
That is a 15.
15 does hit.
That is 11 bludgeoning.
Okay. It's looking very, very hurt.
Alright, second attack. 20 with disadvantage.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage, but I don't think you need to. You don't.
It's another 10.
Yeah, finish him.
Alright. It's just one of those, like, I have had enough of this! And it is repeated bashing it in with the staff to get rid of it.
Yeah, as you hit it, it starts to kind of crumple, and then it explodes into sludge. I need you both to Luminora and Cass need to make another dexterity saving throw for this explosion.
I'm still at disadvantage. So that's a 6.
Right. So, okay. So, Cass, as this explodes on you, you take 12 points of damage. In Luminora, you take 6.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where it's at. And we are now back out of initiative. I chose poorly on what its first attack would be. All right.
Well, that was exciting. Let's go to the east.
Yeah, I think I got some of that stuff in my mouth.
I don't think you need any more of that stuff in you, buddy.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Walk around the big thing that's trapped in the lava, hopefully submerged and melting.
As you guys walk past again, give me a perception check, all of you.
12.
18.
16.
All right. So, Cass and Luminara, as you walk by, you notice that literally all that's sticking out of the lava is just the very top. So you can still see all of the runes. They are no longer glowing with color, but they are pitch black, like it stands out. And it looks like a black vapor is floating up to the ceiling.
I don't like it.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan either. Let's go down the bone hallway instead.
Can I sneak my way down this hallway?
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
17. Sorry.
Yep, you are managing not to step on more of these bones, so no crackling is going on.
Okay. I'm going to walk down the corridor and just kind of take a peek around the corner to see what I can see.
Yeah, kind of like from the western corridor that you guys just kind of went down. Again, the floor is glowing with this red light and energy.
Okay. Continue on to the next threshold here.
Yep, you just notice an empty room that's glowing. Again, that's not actually lava.
The floor is not lava.
Nope.
Okay, and into the hallway here on the west.
Yeah, absolutely. As you kind of make your way.
Is this chest here?
Yeah. Go ahead and check it out if you want.
Yeah, I'll open it.
All right. Yeah, as you open it, you notice that there's some silver pieces in there. There's about 15 silver, and there are 4 daggers. They don't look special by any means. They're just kind of standard daggers.
I wonder if these are for some kind of ritual or something. Worst case scenario, I can always throw them at somebody.
All right, I'm continuing down the hall, just kind of like going kind of slowly, just checking all my corners as I pass them.
Doors and corners.
Yeah, and you see an archway. You notice those same 5 symbols across the arch. None of them are glowing. They are all pitch black.
All right. Well, we gotta try to light these things up again. I'm wondering.
There's no door into this room or anything like that. It's just an archway.
So we can just walk under.
I stepped through.
All right, you step into this big, vast room with the entire floor is glowing in between each of the stoneworks. You see a large, throne that seems to be made out of bones, and that is also reaffirmed by the fact that there's a lot of bones scattered around the foot of it.
Divine sense.
Yeah. Celestial, fiend, and what?
Undead within 60 feet.
Within 60 feet. So, as you can sense basically the entire room. It almost like pings, disappears, and it looks to be coming from the throne.
All right. I don't know why. Was that mine or somebody else's who highlighted the whole?
That was mine. Sorry.
because like the whole room's like pink now.
Oh, I undid it. I'm sorry.
There we go. That was just a little like odd. So there's something like moving around.
It seems like it's almost appearing and disappearing, but you don't see anything.
But is it registering as undead? Or fiend?
More of a fiend.
We're not alone in this room.
Yeah, I know. We're all here.
No, I mean there's some kind of fiend presence here.
Evan?
No.
Okay.
Hey, that's mean.
I love you, buddy.
Okay, thanks.
I would not approach the really awesome Halloween decoration.
So it keeps like coming in and out then.
Yeah. I only sense it for a couple seconds, but it seems like it's like leaving and entering or phasing or something. Like it's here and then it's not here, like it's almost blinking.
Can I see if I can perceive anything else around the room?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Anything that strikes me as odd, I guess, besides just random bones and glowing floor lights?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
18.
Okay. So with an 18, you notice two things. You notice one, that there is it almost blends in with all of the bones, but it's to the side, the eastern side of that throne. It looks to be a box made out of bones. And then you notice on the seat of the throne that there is a puddle of black sludge, and it is rippling. Think of the water from Jurassic Park with the T-Rex. Just
Somebody want to burn that stuff?
I have no fire, my friend.
Tevin, do you want to? Does he have burning hands, or was it produce flame?
He has
or-
produced flames.
flame. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, torch it, Tev.
So as he lifts up his hand, ball of fire appears in his hand, shoots it out. It races towards the throne, hits just to the side of it, and as that happens, the sludge starts to grow more violently, shaking, and it erupts up. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
I wanted to open the box.
Well, no, we must kill the thing of unspeakable evil first.
What's the box?
What's in the box?
Box could be anything, even a boat.
All right. Well, if our listeners here like this show and would like to support us, please head over, follow us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. We have a Reddit subpage or a subreddit. Look at me not knowing how that works. Just search Kobolds in the Basement, Instagram Kobolds in the Basement pod. Or if you want to become a premium subscriber, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. When you subscribe, let us know that it is us kobolds that got you to subscribe so that you can get some member exclusive merch for our show. Also, like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. That way you can stay up to date on the latest episodes, some bonus content, and announcements as they come. Anything that our heroes would like to plug this week?
Not this week.
Got nothing today.
So I'm gonna plug Kobold Press with their new announced gaming system of Tales of the Valiant that just came out officially yesterday or today. So it's a system that is
today.
as we're recording today, but it's a 5e like system with some nice tweaks and changes that I think has a lot of potential. And if you're not a fan of Wizards of the Coast products anymore, then I think it's a perfect alternative.
Absolutely. We might be exploring that here in some coming episodes. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, and then just like every week for me, if our listeners like other nerdy content and enjoy podcasts, check out the All Things Nerd podcast. You can find that over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com for everywhere to find, listen, watch all sorts of stuff like that. Well, that's it from us here. So goodbye from Kobolds in the Basement.
See ya.
Bye now.